Orcas, also known as killer whales, are not just apex predators, they are highly social creatures that live in tight-knit family groups called pods. These pods are essential for an orca's survival, providing not only food and protection, but also deep social bonds. But what happens if an orca is separated from its pod? Can it survive alone in the wild? In today's video, we'll answer this question by exploring the compelling stories of Luna and Springer, two orcas who faced this very challenge. Join us as we dive deep into their experiences and uncover the resilience and challenges of these magnificent creatures. Let's start with Luna, also known as L98. Luna was just 2 years old when he became separated from his pod, the southern resident killer whales, in 2001. He ended up living alone in Nootka Sound, off the west coast of Vancouver Island, Canada. For 5 years, Luna survived completely alone in the wild. He became famous for his interactions with humans, approaching boats and seeking out attention from people. It seemed like Luna was trying to fill the social void left by his separation from his pod. You need to hear this if you're a marine life enthusiast. So, how did Luna manage to survive for 5 years without his family? Despite being young, Luna had likely learned some hunting techniques from his pod before they were separated, and he was able to catch his own food. However, his story highlights some serious challenges. Without the social support of his pod, Luna sought out interaction wherever he could find it, even from humans. Unfortunately, this behavior put him at great risk. In 2006, Luna tragically died after a collision with a tugboat, a result of his continued interest in boats. Luna's story shows us that while an orca can technically survive alone for a few years, the lack of social interaction coupled with environmental dangers makes life incredibly difficult for a solitary orca. But Luna's not the only example we have. In 2002, a young female orca named Springer, also known as A73, was found alone near Seattle, far from her family pod. Unlike Luna, Springer's health was already in serious decline and she was malnourished. Her chances of survival without her pod looked slim. Scientists stepped in to help. They captured Springer, nursed her back to health, and in an incredible effort, transported her over 400 miles back to her home waters in British Columbia. Once there, they successfully reunited her with her family pod. Springer's reunion was a huge success. She was accepted back into her pod and continues to live with them today. Her story is a rare example of a young orca surviving after separation, but only with human intervention. Without that help, it's unlikely she would have made it on her own. So what do these two stories tell us? Can orcas survive without their pods? The answer isn't a simple yes or no, it depends on the orca's age, health, and circumstances. But here are the key takeaways. Luna's story shows us that older orcas might be able to survive for a time on their own, but they face significant social and environmental challenges. His need for social interaction led to risky behaviors that eventually cost him his life. Springer's story highlights the importance of pod life, especially for young orcas. Without her family, Springer's chances of survival were slim. But with help, she was able to rejoin her pod and thrive. In the wild, orcas depend on their pods not just for survival, but for socialization, hunting, and even emotional support. While it's possible for an orca to survive for a short time without its pod, it's clear that they are deeply social animals. Their long-term survival and overall well-being are closely tied to their family groups. The stories of Luna and Springer remind us of the importance of these bonds, and why protecting orca populations and their habitats is so crucial. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more wildlife stories and insights. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about Luna and Springer's stories? Could orcas ever truly thrive alone? Let's discuss.